Welcome to the Tobias Review Series, featuring some Elite Gamer games and what I usually play myself. Today, we're looking at an actual Elite Gamer Chad Extreme title, something to break the hearts of children and reforge them into Elite Gamer Chads, I guess? Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, From Software's latest game, because where is Elden Ring, honestly? Let's begin the bias by saying Sekiro is a fantastic game. This was my second Souls-like title, with Fallen Order being my first? Let's just say Sekiro was my first real one. Anyways, this game had me hooked over its stylized aesthetics and of course the ninja samurai warriorness gameplay. I'm not one to play punishing games such as this one, but this was definitely an exception. You'd think you're getting into something impossible, or something only the top 1% of Elite Gamer Chads can beat. It definitely feels like it's starting out, but the willingness to learn the mechanics and some patience will reward you with a truly thrilling experience. Sekiro is another addition to the Souls-like genre, and a great one at that. What sets it apart is the fantastic environmental storytelling and the intensity of the fights you'll encounter, especially the unique bosses they throw at you. Any enemy can absolutely wreck your shit if you drop your guard, which forces you to engage any scenario with caution. To describe this, it's like you're always sitting up in the gamer stance where you're super engaged until mom calls you for pizza, absolutely shattering your concentration because pizza is the number one priority. And of course, when you look back at your game, you're already impaled into the ground like a fucking signpost, with the big fat death insignia as if it already wasn't clear enough. But hey, pizza is calling, so it's not all bad. From Software's Sekiro is a roller coaster to play with the sheer amount of unexpected and crazy shenanigans that you'll encounter. It's enough to make you afraid of the world, to be honest, and an example of what you won't expect as a new player to the genre, and most definitely will if you've played this company's past games, is how many times you're going to get destroyed, obliterated, outplayed, and straight up humiliated to death. Death is expected to happen so much it's literally a fucking plot point. Speaking of death, your character has the ability to return from it. Like you didn't just get your lungs caved in there, it's kinda trippy. What's great about this mechanic is that it gives you a much needed second chance in a critical fight or commit to a tactical retreat. No, it's not running away, you're surviving to fight another day. This mechanic is designed to give the player a level of forgiveness which opens the game up to casual players, although you'll quickly learn it doesn't really help you much if you're still new to the game. Of course, if that option offends you, you can also choose actual death and get sent back to the last idol. Something for everyone. One of the key factors that initially deterred my purchase of the game was if you died too much, you will literally inflict the plague on the world. But fear not, it merely locks away some side quests and merchants until you resolve it. You'll find a limited amount of items usable to cure it, but use them very sparingly. I personally only used 2 during my first playthrough, so it's definitely manageable. Idols and save points. The Souls-like defining feature is the use of this game's version of a bonfire or shrine, called idols. You are given the option to heal up, wash away the anxiety of bleeding out. However, this key respite also respawns all standard enemies you've eliminated so far, which can be frustrating, but it's better than losing your hard-earned skill, experience, or cash. In Sekiro, there isn't a direct leveling system which will scare your average JRPG player, but instead you'll earn level gain skill points you can use to acquire some combat or passive abilities. You JRPG players can breathe now because I'm sure you recognize skill trees. I can't say I really use the skill trees effectively, but certain passives like health and posture restoration on Death Blow are super useful. These points are earned through defeating enemies and yoinking their cash every time. Always rob them. You must. You can then redeem cash for those advantageous items like gourd seeds and prosthetic materials. You'll get this bad boy at a certain point in the game, and honestly, it's cool to use it first, but you'll soon discover it's practically useless unless you know when to use the mods. And speaking of mods, throughout the game you can acquire modifications to alter what your prosthetic arm can do, but ultimately I find it useless due to its limitations. For example, you can embed shuriken mods that do basically no damage to enemies unless they are low-level grunts. You can also acquire firecrackers to stun enemies to create openings to strike, but you may as well just read your enemies' movements for free. It's a nice addition, but it isn't a big loss if you choose not to master it. A new addition to the game is the posture mechanic. Thankfully, it has nothing to do with my bad posture in real life. This is a feature that works just like any stamina mechanic out there. If it runs out, your character grows tired and is left wide open for all sorts of crap, like death, usually. In Sekiro, enemies have a posture bar too, and if you gradually deplete it from well-timed blocks or accumulate it through damaging them, you are given the opportunity to finish the rest of the earned health bar in one stylish move, considered a reward for mastering the gameplay. What I like about this mechanic is that it allows you to end fights more quickly without getting beat to death yourself. The biggest turn away from games like this is probably its sheer difficulty compared to your average game. Don't confuse me for a pro gamer. I've lost count on how many times I've died in just the first level. I admit I'm kinda bad to be honest, but that's not important. I still managed to clear the game, so anybody can do it really. At the start of play, I found myself dying to low-level grunts and basically limping between fights and especially during them. It's a thrilling experience and anxiety all the way till you get that triumphant feeling of actually surviving a fight, which may not occur much initially. There was a point where I hit a wall and grew frustrated with a particular boss, having spent a solid 3 to 4 hours trying to beat them, but that's just me. You could guess I haven't progressed far in the learning curve. That's when I decided to try a revolutionary mechanic that makes almost every attack trivial. It's called blocking. No, seriously, actually blocking is the way. In fact, with well-timed blocks, parries, you can gradually destroy an enemy's posture bar and of course avoid taking damage and therefore death. Who would have thought? If you're able to master the brief time window where you can parry an enemy's wave of attacks by blocking at just the right time, you're well on your way to clearing the game. My absolute favorite parts of this game are the several key fights, including the final boss. Due to the sheer intensity and presentation of it all, it actually feels like one of those climactic anime fights where everything is on the line. There's something exclusive to these fights and is absolutely thrilling to experience. Those who've played or seen the game know exactly what I'm talking about, of course. It's one of my personal favorites and honestly what has hooked me into loving the game. To summarize the game, the overall quality is excellent, with great world design, lots of interesting levels and side paths to discover. The bosses are unique and fun. It's always a thrilling experience in that regard. The gameplay is always engaging. You're always in that the gamer's stance, as I've said before. There's some forgiveness for mistakes, such as the return by death thingy. It's super useful eventually. And yeah, as I said, the environments and exploration are great to explore. There is that harsh learning curve, but it's rewarding once you figure it out, once you put more time into the game, which is expected. Accessory items aren't really that useful, but it's not needed to complete the game. I personally rate this game a clean 88% for being a genuine joy to play. Sure, there's some nuances, but it nails the part of the game that matters, and it definitely is a must-play if you're looking for a thrilling action and adventure RPG. As of writing this review, I've played 3 Souls-likes, including this one from best to worst. First one being Sekiro, which is my favorite Souls-like out of the limited pool I've played. Second is Nioh 2, which I'm currently playing with a few friends of mine. It's a bit more hands-on in terms of building equipment and all that stuff, but it's something different that I really like playing, and the co-op is it's actually great. The third is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is actually I didn't know was a Souls-like until briefly before I got it. This is one of those games that I think people have slept on. I wouldn't say it makes one of the best Souls-like titles, but the included story and all that stuff included into it, all the character styles, all the character stories, bringing that all together makes that a great game too. I definitely say it's worth a try, at least for the story anyway. This is the first review series I've been wanting to make, so let me know your thoughts and experience of Sekiro without spoiling it for those who are still on the fence of buying. But before you leave, drop a like if you feel this review helps. It helps put this video out there and is all I ask really, unless you're into subscribing. Do that if you want to see more, that'd be cool. As for me, I actually stream games like this on Twitch. At the time of this video, I streamed my playthrough of Resident Evil 7, which is not something I thought I'd ever do or play, but hey, I may review it myself soon. I usually stream around 8 PM EST during the week, so you can find me that way. Best ways to get notified through my Discord for when I go live. That's about it from me, everyone. Thanks for watching. This has been your boy Tobias, and I will catch you guys later. Peace. I feel like that box is a trap. Hey, nope.